listening to the General Conversation Podcast. I'm Valerie.
This is Cord.
And this is season 2, episode 9.
So, Kadira, how have you been today?
I've been busy, kind of like all over the place. I've been getting it, riding around and getting it. You know,
riding around and I'm getting it.
Yeah, I've been trying to,
I'm getting it. Okay.
I know me and Valerie used to talk all during the week. I know I haven't called her like all week and stuff. So, but Valerie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a terrible friend.
But, you riding around and you getting it, man.
Yeah,
listen, hey, get it.
You know. But yeah, I've been doing good, man. I can't complain. Can't complain at all. What about you?
Just trying to knock some things off my to-do list. Like I'm in the process of the process of trying to get a house.
Okay.
I have not really started anything, but I've been trying to get with a mortgage company and been talking with some people about doing that, and then just getting some facts. I'm trying to get all my facts together and make sure everything's good because I'm in an apartment now. I've been here 3 years, and I'm not doing apartment any longer. Like I can't do it. So that's my next goal.
Something about that space, right?
Just trying to I need I'm definitely outgrown this apartment. Mm-hmm. I loved it for what it was. I love that it's, most of the time it's quiet. I love the view that I have. But I done went and bought bikes and stuff. I'm trying to do this.
I got you a whole bike, yo. Like, what's happening?
I mean, help me. I'm just, honestly, I figured too. Like, if we're gonna have to quarantine a lot more often than not, I'd rather have it in a space that feels like mine, that I can add to, that I don't feel so claustrophobic in, and also that I can go outside and be in my own little yard and chill because I don't have a yard that I can be in. I have a deck. A patio rather, and it's quite small. I do sit out there sometimes, but because where my like I'm on the highest floor, but where my view is, it's a lot of trees and the creek, and it's beautiful. However, it's a lot of bugs and everything else. So I got to spray and
you got
to go out there and sit. As soon as I get out, I'm telling you, I come back. I think they like my blood. Seriously, my skin or something. Every time
brown sugar.
Every time I go out there, it can be out there just for a second because that's where my bike is, and I would get bit. Like I come back, I'm like, I just went out there for 2 seconds. Like
they're waiting on you.
I swear they perched up like she coming. She coming to get the bike. Right.
She just put the walking shoes on. Let's get her. Let's get it.
And I'm the kind of person that loves like light, so I keep all my windows open. Well, blinds pulled up. My windows are not open because it's the bug.
Oh, so I forgot to tell you. I finally me and a friend of mine who took a little mini road trip or whatever. Uh-huh. First we went to this it's Indian Springs place where you get the water straight from the from the mountain.
Oh,
water straight from like a little creek, like a little stream from the mountain. You get the water straight from there. So we went there first, and then we went and saw where those families bought the land. We went down there and saw the actual land itself.
Oh, you talking about the black couple?
The black family.
The black family, yeah.
The town has a lot of potential. It was like, okay, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of like old abandoned buildings and stuff like that. It did remind me of a ghost town though.
Did it?
Yeah, because
you can change that though. Like I think they bought it and now they just gotta. It's not something that's probably gonna happen overnight.
Yeah, they're on like a few inhabitants of like a town. Like we went to one part of the town where there were like it seemed like okay, there are about 10 to 15 people in residence and stuff. We went on one street, but other than that, it was like an old building in the middle of town by some train tracks. There were a lot of houses, but I would say about 85% was just abandoned, just property, just abandoned houses, abandoned buildings, abandoned public offices, or whatever they were used for, just abandoned. And I was like, wow, even some of the old plantation houses that were down there were just abandoned, empty.
What area is this again?
Toomsboro. It's in Wilkinson County, Toomsboro, Georgia, though.
Okay.
Toomsboro is the city. Wilkins is the county. Wilkins County, I think, is actually pretty big. So the city is Toomsboro. If you want to just kind of go down there and just if anybody who wants to ride down there, just look.
I do have a trip scheduled down there. Not necessarily down to that area, but I'm doing like a little staycation around my birthday time, and I found me a little a drive-through zoo safari kind of situation.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna head toward the Savannah area, and yeah, I might check it out because I think I'll be going south.
Yeah, if you get a chance to
Mm,
just ride through it and see what it's about. It's like I say, it's a ghost town, but it's a ghost town. It was like I see the potential of what it could be, and
right. I mean, I think that's why they got it because it's like we have a lot of potential here and we can build up through there. But yeah,
right.
but so yeah, so I like to have like a lot of my you know light coming into my apartment, so my blinds are always up, and um, I don't know, I like being outside, and to a point, I kind of like that live like being out, like looking outside, but being inside, like out
Right.
indoor
You
out.
like the view. You like nature from a view.
Indoor outdoors, like if I could find me a house with a screen-in porch or something like that, that'd be like
Right.
perfect for me. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. So let's go ahead and get into the topic. So me and Cordero was having a conversation, and we were just talking about like different things, rather. But I guess I want to ask him again just to revisit the conversation. Do you think, and you guys, if you think yes or no, or you can give us your opinions below. Do you think that you can be like you can hang around negative people or hang around people that are not good people in general, like they do very foul stuff, for example, like they like drama, or they like to um let's say cheat, or they like to steal, or just do things that unsavory things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can hang around these people and not be like them, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that, you know, they say birds of a feather
Right.
flock together. So, do you
Mm-hmm.
think that you could be around somebody that's unethical, that mistreat people, that's stealing a grandmother's social security check? Do you think you can be around these kind of people that do fraudulent things and just like are initially bad people, right? Like do really messed up things, and you could be friends with them or not? Like, can you associate yourself with those kind of people?
I think honestly, I would probably be a little too paranoid. Um, Especially if you talk about people who doing fraudulent things, people who steal, or people who
Hmm.
might want to rob or something like that, or people who do foul things. Now we get into the thing of, because we all have, even people who do just completely messed up things. Because the thing is, um, they might not be doing it to you at that very moment
Right.
because y'all are on quote unquote good terms, right?
Hmm.
That might be the only thing that's stopping them from doing it to you. And then, but if they get desperate enough, like say you talking about who does fraudulent things, somebody get desperate enough, then your information will be gone or missing. You know what I'm saying?
That's very
So
true.
I don't think I could personally be around somebody who did either certain criminal activities, and I do say certain criminal activities, certain criminal activities, or somebody who was foul, who does things unethical things, or do things that's not morally just. I don't think I could really hang around them too tough like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kadira. I feel like, for one, you know, let me give you an example. For one, let me answer the question, then I'll give you an example. I've been around people that, I'm not gonna say like steal or anything like that, but it's one of them things that I've been around people that do certain things that I don't do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we don't stay friends long, or I don't hang around them long enough, because it's like I don't even like that. And I'm thinking maybe when I was a little bit younger,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I don't even like you doing stuff like that I don't do. So I'm not gonna, like, I'm scary, so I ain't trying to get in no kind of trouble.
Right. I feel you. I feel you.
No kind of trouble. I'm scary then and scary now, right? So I'm not trying to do things that are gonna put me in a situation I that I'm gonna get in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna get in
Mm-hmm.
trouble, it's gonna be some shit that I done did. Like, okay, yeah, I can take responsibility for it. I'd be dang if I get in trouble for some stuff that I ain't even trying to do, but I'm associated with you, so I'm like by
Right.
association I'm guilty. That's that. So I believe in, like you said, Cordero, very true. If there's just to say they're stealing or they're doing fraudulent things, or they're like, yeah, I got this and that, you're gonna be like, okay, if you're doing them to them, What makes you sure
Right.
you wouldn't do that to me? Like, I mean, we could I just remember being in high school sometimes, and let's say you hang with somebody, let's say you're talking to a friend, you all think you guys are friends, like it's a group of y'all, and then you see one friend talk about somebody behind their back. I'm like, and I used to tell them people, and people look at me like crazy, especially because I'm kind of just like blunt. I'm like, well, if he's talking about her, who knows what you're saying about me?
Right.
And we all
Right.
supposed to be friends. So it's like, don't ever think, you have to be careful and not just use that as a, I mean, that's a layman thing. That's like a real small thing, but it can grow into something larger, right? Like talking about somebody behind their back isn't like doesn't mean that there's a whole completely bad person, but knowing that they could do that and they're supposed to be this person's friend, that itself is like a starter kit for trouble. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I would say
Like,
the same thing. What even amongst my friends, and this is my rule of thumb. If you can't, don't tell me if you can't say it to their face.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because then this when I kind of get the problem. Like if it's not something you can say to their face, then you shouldn't be really conversating with me about it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Then
right.
because I
And I
saw
can
some
see
type of way.
venting, and I can see having a conversation
Right.
and venting, but I still think like, look, because I've been there. I'm like, I didn't vent to somebody. I'm like, oh, I already told them, but I just can't believe this. Da, 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 da. Like,
Right.
I'm saying I believe that, but I mean, like literally, like every time you talk to somebody, this person that you consider a friend, they're talking about somebody behind their back,
Right.
like they
There's a
that they
point
say
where
they're trying to be
yeah,
our friend.
that's a turning
For
point.
example, like, you know, just different things. So I've been in situations, and here's another scenario that has happened in real life. I've been in situations where somebody was telling me about a certain relationship, and I didn't agree with anything that was really taking place. But it's kind of like I was just like, it is what it is, you know. But I tried to um, remove myself from this, like, hey, because the person to me was, I felt like the person was still a good person. So like I still liked the person.
Mhm.
So I was just like, yeah, I didn't agree with everything, but I'm like, you know how you try to take what you like. You're just like, okay, well let's talk about
Right.
something else. And that's what I was saying because that person was a good person. So I'm not saying like sometimes people do things and they're like they're not completely like an ass or something, but just like okay, well I can deal with this part. So let me just have this part of the person.
Right. Deal with
But
that
the
part of
thing
it.
is that gets messy too, and sometimes you know if you get tired of a situation or you tired of hearing it, then they like you're not even listening. It's like, cause I don't care about that part. Like I
Right. I
don't want to know.
really don't give a fuck.
Like why can't we talk about something else, anything else? I mean anything besides that. You know, but I think because
Right.
especially if it's so much of that person identity, the things that they're doing that they won't know. So I think it's balance of feel. In my opinion, if you're trying to hang with somebody like, oh, they, because I know people like, oh, they ain't my problem. They, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they cheat. Like, this my homeboy, he a cheater. But I heard it so many times from guys, like, yeah, he a cheater, but I ain't. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Well,
And like what and I feel you and I do feel you because I got guy friends and even I had to tell them like certain situations and they tell me, oh yeah, miss, I was like, dude, like you really gonna like that's what you want. And I had to tell them straight up like you really don't like so and so, you really don't like so and so. I had to tell them straight up then you don't really like that person. No,
right.
it's not nothing I can do to because I already told you what I think about your activity is being wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's a very man that's a very
You know what? I've
that's a very
heard this.
good topic.
I feel like it was a comedian who said this, but it might not be. But I heard somebody say this. Matter of fact, I think it was at event I went to actually, the one you be calling Black Panthers. But anyway,
Your Black Panther Party.
they was asking, one of the questions came up and said, what can, because it's the event I go to was mainly about like how can Black people uplift themselves and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can come to the event, but when it was going on, it was just like kind of getting the Black community together. And I think remember one of the questions was like, well, how can basically Black men show themselves as accountable? And then it was like, yeah, so when your friend, your homeboy, doing something that he's not supposed to, instead of giving him kudos or not saying anything at all, because some people are like, well, I ain't giving him kudos, but I just ain't saying nothing. Okay, but initially he is being an ass, right? He's a cheater, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting here telling you, even if he's not saying like, "Oh, be my wingman and tell my girl I'm at your
Right.
house," the fact that he's telling you that he's cheating and you don't say anything at all is just as bad as not as being a part of it because you can't. Granted, he ain't got to listen to you, but like, hey, if you're gonna talk that way about whoever or do you gonna do these things, I don't want to be associated with you about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see like you kind of like he's gloating that I got this girl, I slept with her. You not calling him on his shit as a man. That's what somebody had gave a opinion of. Like you supposed to be a man, but you doing little boy stuff and you doing you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're making it seem like it's cool to have, you know, some shit you would think was cool, I guess, if you were a teenager, you know, a child or
Right,
something.
right, right.
Like, I got all these different women when you have an actual relationship. And the guy had made a mention to answer to Kurt tell that, like, what could be done. And he said, hold him accountable. Don't
Mm-hmm.
let him think that their behavior is cool. And I was
Right.
like, slow clap. It was very, and a lot of women was clapping like, huh, because I don't think men do that often. And the reason I'm talking about men right now because I have guy friends, and I've heard you talk about some of your situations,
Mm-hmm.
and I just was like, well, do you say anything? Like, no, I just don't. You know that's just him. And granted, you're right. At some point, that is that person doing that, even if you don't do that. But it's to be made and seen that, like, you are helping the downfall of that situation. Not necessarily you, but like you're not saying anything to him. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, he was snorting crack, and you knew crack was bad. Would you not
Like,
tell him
like,
that
bro, you
crack is bad?
crack alone. Hey, don't play.
Right, right. You would tell him that, wouldn't you?
Hey.
You would tell him
Yeah.
that, wouldn't you? But you wouldn't tell him about how to be a better, have a better, healthier relationship. You know, hey, cheating, da 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 da. Why don't you go talk to her and say, you know what, I'm not happy here and here and here instead of trying to go put your penis in everything. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? And like gloating on it because I think a lot of times it's looked as if men got different all these different women, then he's a man, and if a woman does it, she's a hoe. And it's just like,
Yeah. You know,
okay,
that
okay.
I was talking about that with somebody else, and we was trying to figure like where they originate from. That unfortunately is gonna have to be a whole nother
Yeah, we
topic.
can say that for later, but I'm just
Yeah.
giving you an example, and
Right,
I
right,
just
right,
like
right.
the fact that a guy brought brought the
I think that,
solution of, well, yeah, holding him accountable. When he's
right.
out here gloating that he done sleeping around, da 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 da, then be like, hey man, that ain't cool. And you know, I don't think that you going around sleeping with all these women is healthy. Because
Yeah.
you know
And
you already,
I think I've been
it's different if you doing whatever you doing and you in an open relationship, you in a,
right.
you know, you single, but you have a whole relationship and you're cheating. You know, that's different.
I mean, it's cheating when you gotta sneak around and do it, you know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I think for the most part, I ain't gonna say, especially my young years, I wasn't always, but I think now, especially now, I think I've been fairly consistent in just letting it be known, like, dude, I don't think that's very cool. You know, I think what you're doing is kind of fucked up. But in my younger years, like early 20s, I was like, well, nigga, do what you do. No, it's not my girl. Do what you do. You know, it's whatever.
Let me ask if was were if you had some friends or a woman told you that, would you have gave her the same? If a woman's like, yeah, they acted like your guy friends, like, yeah, I slept around with this dude, and the other night I was with this dude, and would you give her the same?
Gotta do what you
Do
do.
what you
Advice.
do?
Do
Yeah.
what you do. Yeah, I think I've been pretty fair about that part. Or probably do what you do. Because I thought I was kind of like, because the double standard about women being hoes for sleeping
Right,
around
right.
mentally.
Because I'm like, guys, this a whole thing. You're right.
Yeah, no,
It's
that like
always
kind of
on
thing.
both
Like, and my thing is
ends.
like, I was like, if you single, then it's whatever. But like I said, in my young years, I definitely was kind of like very nonchalant about it, do what you do type of situation. But now I try to be fair and like, either male or female, like, it's kind of fucked up, right? You wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. Then I just leave it alone after that because I can't do nothing but tell you.
Okay,
I'll tell
so
you.
would you still hang around that person though?
Yeah, because that's still my friend. You know what I'm saying? I can't like I said, there's good parts to it and there's bad parts to it as well. I can't, like, how I have my friends, right? And like I tell you, most of my friends I've been friends with for, you know, 10 plus years at this point, probably longer. Oh, I'm getting old as shit. Longer than that. So if he come to me and he like, yo, man, this and that, I probably like, dude, that's kind of fucked up what you doing. You want nobody to do it to you. But I can't throw away our entire friendship because he decided to fuck up that part of his life. That's really hard to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't think now if he doing some robbing shit, I'm like, nigga, what? Nigga, stay away from, like you said, stay the fuck away from me. You couldn't get everybody put in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't no parts of that. That's really fucked up. But yeah, I don't think I can just throw away that long term. Even if I think that particular action might be fucked up, I don't think I can throw away my entire friendship away from that. Now I would introduce him to none of my friends, like, yeah, Cole, holla at this dude right here. Nah, it wouldn't be none of that. Man, how come you try to hook me on none of your girlfriends? Like, nah, bro. Bro. I'm not introducing you to no chicks. Period. I know you. I know you. Maybe the best I could do probably was cut that part of a relationship off.
But what if that's all that person talked about? Like,
If
yeah.
that's all they kind of talked about, then I probably like leave them alone. You know, if there's no other aspects to our friendship than that, then I probably like to leave them alone.
Well, do you have anything else to add on that?
Well, what about you? Would you leave that person completely alone? You know what I'm saying? If that was the only aspect of their personality that you disagree with, would you leave them alone completely? You know what I'm saying? Could you? If
Mm,
that was another, if that was the sole personality flaw that you had with them.
well, I don't think I'm, judgmental like that, but I do. There are certain things that, to me, I think I treat it all the same. Like whether he was a robber, whether he was a cheater,
Mm-hmm.
even though he's not robbing me and he's not cheating on me, I think I probably would, especially if we didn't have anything else to bring us together. Like if he was like, well, you just don't understand that I gotta rob because I gotta do this, or you don't understand because I cheat because of this. Then it's come to a place that like, okay, maybe I don't understand why you do the things that you do, but I don't have to settle in. I don't have to meet you where you at, but for the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I ain't sitting here telling you about did it. We can talk about anything else besides those things. Um, to me, of course, robbing is a little different just because I don't know what kind of lifestyle you did. I don't know who you
Right.
don't rob. This, but check it out. I don't know who you don't rob, and they out here looking for you.
Did they
But
see
I
me
can say,
with you?
wait a minute. But I can say the same thing for somebody you cheat and who's a cheater. I don't know what woman you done pissed off, cause you done cheated on her. Now she up there trying to cut. She see me with you. Now she trying to harm me because you out there doing foul shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think here's the thing. I don't think that. I think that will hinder growth in a relationship. I think that because it's one thing. Some people do stuff you don't know nothing about it. And it's just like, okay,
Right.
it is what it is. But you have some people that are kind of like braggadocious about the things that they do, or they come for advice, and you're like, I already told you I'm not with that. So I think
Right.
they
So why
can
we still
take it
talking
as
about
yeah,
it?
but you know what I'm saying. But sometimes that's a part of their identity. Maybe part
Okay.
of his identity is him robbing, or part of how he live is cheating, or whatever the case he might be into. Or yeah, I snort a little coke here and there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no addict, but I just snort a little. Like that might be his. You
What's
know,
here and
but
there?
listen, that does change your personality. If you start doing drugs, that changes your personality. If you start cheating, you think everybody against you because you out there doing fucking wrong. If you out there stealing, you paranoid as fuck. And yeah, I wouldn't want to go nowhere with you. It's like, yeah, eventually the relationship will break down. So for me, I think it has a shelf life. It won't last long
Mm-hmm.
because I'm starting to feel like I don't even especially every time we talk, and this is what we're talking about, the negative that I don't like, that I'm not a wit. You know what I'm saying? And then secondly, I'm like, this kind of lifestyle you living, like I don't need that to rub off on me. I'm not with it. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but at the same time, I'm not with it. So how can we move on from this? I
Right.
really wouldn't know how. Cause I
Okay.
mean, it's not like I'm asking you like, hey, you still I ain't never asked somebody whatever they doing that I don't like. I ain't never asked them, hey, you still
Right.
snort that
Right.
coke?
Right.
Hey, you still cheating?
With that book
Hey,
of
you
sugar.
still robbing? I promise you, I ain't never sitting there trying to ask you, are you still doing the things that you doing shit that I don't care about? Because that's not what
Right.
I don't care about that shit. That's for you, between you and your Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, for me, I think it would die out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I think it definitely would die out. And I think karma comes in all kind of ways. And I just feel like I don't want to be part of that. Like I got enough shit that I deal with and
Oh
how I
yeah.
move around. I'm trying to make sure I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you on that. It's
So yeah, I
just
don't
like
think it would last. Now I do
okay.
understand that sometimes, there are certain people that they do what they do and they don't include you in it because they do it by themselves. And so
Mm-hmm.
whether they doing right or wrong, it's kind of like they preserving the friendship that they have with you.
Right.
And I can respect that to a point. Now don't get me wrong. I'm like, listen, don't get me shot out here because you doing some fuck shit. But I do understand somebody like, oh yeah, I didn't like I had friends come to me, oh I didn't tell you I used to. Okay, yeah, that's back in the day though. I'm like, oh, okay, wait,
Yeah. I used to.
shit, we
Yeah.
good, right? We good. Okay,
You didn't do it like last week or nothing, did you? Like.
I ain't no fucking snake myself, so it's like, oh, okay,
Right.
well.
Yeah, but
Or no,
I
I
think
told
it's.
you. That's why I told you not to come around, cause girl, I wasn't even, I was. I was like, oh, okay,
Oh, thank you for the heads up.
like okay. So
Yeah, but I think like it's different aspects of it. There's always context and stuff like that. But It really depends on is that the only part of our friendship that we can focus on? Is it something you gonna do? Like, dude, let me tell you about this last. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear about that
Right.
again. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to hear about that. Keep hearing about that. Let's talk about, you know,
anything else.
anything else right now. You know,
anything else.
Because my thing is, I already gave you my opinion on it. You know, I don't fuck with you on that particular issue. I can't really fuck with you on that particular issue. But you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You do what you gonna do. You
right
at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how I feel about it. Like, I think at the end of the day, a person's gonna do what they want to do, and that's fine. Like, I'm not here. Like, I ain't Mother Teresa. I'm not here to say like, like it is what it is.
Yeah, you
but I think them to get to be like, oh, you don't want to listen to me. It's like, I don't. I told you that. I told you I didn't care.
I don't hear about this shit anymore.
But yeah, but I do see why. Because I used to hear that from my mother a lot, and even teachers and stuff. Like, oh, well, so and so do this, so you don't. And especially back in the day, like in high school, it's a lot of stuff I wasn't doing that I think I saw like some of my friends kind of like lean to, but I didn't care because it's like I ain't doing it, so it don't make me none. But I think that's kind of in a way that's like a childish way to think in a sense, in my opinion, because. Yeah, it might not have any consequences that they're doing stuff now, but how many times have you like got in trouble? It's like, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Well, you hang with so and so. It's like, but I literally like by association, right? It's like I literally don't know. Yeah, I literally know nothing about this. Like I don't know. I didn't even know this was going on. So I think sometimes you can't get caught up in the sauce, even if you ain't even taking a sip. You're not even looking at. So
I got you.
You know, but I have had that. Don't get me wrong. I have thought like you, like, well, yeah, they do stuff, but like, I mean, I don't know. And then like I said, I'm too scary, so I be like, you gotta go where? No.
Yeah, you doing what now? Yeah, I feel
I'm not saying I ain't did stuff, but I'm like, oh no, like, oh no, it's time to leave.
Right.
I just remember like, yeah, this ain't my scene.
I need plausible deniability. Can't be fucking with you like that.
But yeah, I do know that it could go both ways. Like you can have those friendships can last, but I think, in my opinion, and for me, that eventually, I think if it's things that like are detrimental to the person or just whatever, not really my cup of tea. I think depending on what it is, I think, and I think depending on like how we interact with each other on a daily basis, or every other week or whatever, however often we talk, I feel like that depends on if the relationship's gonna last. Because all my friends and we are not all the same in how we move and how we see things, which is perfectly fine. But I also think too that like some relationships are stronger than others, and some relationships are like we have different facets of our relationship, so we may only talk about surface stuff, and then I have some friends that we may go deep, and they tell me some stuff, and I tell them stuff, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, and whether I agree with it or not, but we just not. It's just certain things we know each other don't really get down with, so we don't even include it. Because I'm sure there's probably some stuff that I do that they probably don't care, but when I know that they don't want to, that's not really their thing, we don't even really bring it up like that. Like they already know. Right. Like, they ain't asking and I ain't telling. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that as well. But yeah, so I think it just depends on the person and the situation. But those relationships probably could last. But for me, like in my experience, I know it's not go well. Yeah. And I'm just like,
I think like this I think, like I said, but just in saying that, I think there's context to everything, to every type of relationship. So like you said, it depends on, are you doing something detrimental to yourself? Because I can't sit back and watch nobody destroy themselves. Right. And then like
that's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't let somebody keep snorting cocaine. Like I'm good. I'm like, you got a whole kid.
No, you not.
Good?
What? You ain't.
How you watching your baby? Yeah, you snorting the cocaine.
Right. Ain't nothing good about the situation you just presented to me, dog.
Right.
Nothing at all. So no, I definitely get that.
Are you over here popping pills? Like, bruh, you got a whole baby you got to watch after. Like, no.
Could you at least wait till the weekend, bro? Like, come on, what are we doing? Like,
look at your dumb self. Oh, God.
You take him to the babysitter? You gonna do it in front of them like that? Like, come on, help me help us, bro. I'm trying to.
Why your nose over there bleeding and
Real.
stuff? I'm like, ain't nobody got
You
time.
gonna at least get a tip. You gonna bring a Kleenex with you or something? You
You
know.
stupid. Oh God. But
um,
yeah, man.
but that's something I got to add on that. What you got? What you got next for us? What you got next for us?
I think that's it for right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the next thing I want to say is you guys check on your mental health. Make sure you're checking on other people, that you're loving on other people, that you are, you know, reaching out and just checking on people and seeing if they're how they're doing in this social distancing, supposed to be social distancing time. Checking on your older people, your elders, and all that good stuff. Just keeping space, social distancing, the right kind of way. Wearing your mask. But that's all I have.
You got your passport?
I actually do have mine, but see, I got people that don't got theirs, and I can't leave them.
Man, I'm like, listen, we gonna smuggle y'all out. We gonna
Yeah, I got my
smuggle,
dad is here. My
smuggle
dad is here, and he ain't got no passport.
people in. We
So.
gonna smuggle you out. We're gonna
I
tell you
can't.
going. We're gonna take you going on the cruise. Gonna leave you there. That's
Right. Listen, okay. I already told my dad. I said, if things go right, Dad, I am kidnapping you. And listen,
real. We gonna figure it out. We'll figure
yeah, I
it out.
think he kind of look at me laughing. I'm like, I don't. Why? I'm not
Yes,
laughing with you. I'm
You
so
thought
serious.
it was a
I
joke?
didn't start packing you a bag, sir. Though.
You thought I
Like,
was
get out.
joking?
Look, take this tea. Drink this tea.
Real.
While he passed out, like Weekend at Bernie's. Oh,
Yeah.
he all right. He just
Yeah,
sleep.
he just sleep. Like, he old man.
He all right. He just sleep.
Help me get him on a plane.
Right, exactly. I'm like, look, I probably anyway. Let me not sell my my
Your plan.
secrets. Yeah, let me not sell my master plan. But you guys, that's all I have.
All right, well, that's all I got too, yo. We're gonna keep this thing short and sweet today. We're gonna have some for y'all next. Some very informative stuff next time. We're gonna get it together. It's gonna take a little research to do, but we're gonna have it for y'all. So tune in. Stay tuned.
All right, it's been real.
Peace.
Peace.